we've got head coach Hank Plona. We'll go ahead and have Coach open up with a statement, and we'll jump into questions.
Obviously, here as we start conference play, getting into the heart of the season. Probably didn't, certainly the very beginning of the game, didn't get off to the start we wanted to down in Jacksonville State the other day. Second straight road performance where we've really been sluggish coming out the gate, so we're working on figuring out how to improve that. Obviously 12 games into a 31-game season, 1 game into a 20-game marathon. We know we have a long season in front of us. We've showed glimpses of where we could be a very good team, and we've shown glimpses of where we struggle. So obviously a long way to go, and we'll be at work this week. Obviously a couple home games this weekend that we would sure like to come out and play very, very well in, and we're doing all we can do to prepare between now and Friday at 4 for Sam Houston.
What do you do to try and correct something like that, a slow start? I mean, is there like specific things that you can work on, or is it just more of a mentality thing? How do you address that?
We're trying to get off to good starts in every single thing that we do on a day-to-day basis. You know, so if we do a drill, if we do a practice, if we do everything we do, and I don't have the answer as what's causing that. So we're looking for that. I guess the latest theory. I think when we begin things, we are thinking way too much about individually. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to guard him this way. We're supposed to run this, and not just staying in the moment. And you got to be aggressive and have a attacking mentality in everything you do. So I guess as currently right now, I'm worried that we're too focused on the stuff that's really not important, which, don't get me wrong, scouting report's important. What we're going to run is important. But man, how you do things, how you play, how you guard your guy, how you attack, how you dribble, how you pass, how you shoot, just having a confident way about you at the beginning of everything we do. We're trying to think, you know, I guess that's the latest theory, is we need to focus more on how we do things and just being aggressive and confident in whatever decision we make, rather than making the exact right decision. Because it seems like once we get our backs against the wall, we kind of get in the moment and we can play a little bit and things like that. But obviously the starts of games, starts of halves, honestly the starts of practice, the starts of lifts, the starts of, man, we seem like we're a little sluggish, and we have a bunch of, you know, maybe sometimes too thoughtful of young men. So we're working on that, and obviously it's an issue we got to figure out.
Is the home-road split any sort of factor in that discussion? I know you maybe have your back against the wall at home and you've got your home fans that can kind of get you out of it, but on the road you might be dealing with an opposing fan base. Is there any sort of, is that playing into there at all? I
don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. I think when you're on the road, there's just a general different of environment, and you know, I don't know. I mean, it's exhibition-wise, went down to UAB and we didn't have that problem. Went to Eastern Kentucky, didn't have that problem. Was in, you know, Bahamas, didn't have that problem. But these last two, Marshall and Jacksonville State, we have. And honestly, we had it versus Evansville at home too. You know, I thought we kind of had it corrected. We played well versus Campbellsville. Overall, played well versus Tulsa. But at the beginning of the second half, I mean, we're up 37-30, and all of a sudden we're down 43-42. So it kind of came out. I think anytime that we're thinking too much and a little hesitant or trying to we're not going to be perfect. This year's going to have ups and downs, and the game's going to have ups and downs, and every play's going to have ups and downs. And it's about just staying in the moment and playing together and being confident in what you do. So I don't know. We got to, you know, I think in general in college basketball, yeah, there's home road splits, but man, some of the best teams I've coached, it doesn't affect you at all, and you almost embrace that environment. I thought we were embracing road and neutral games there for the beginning, but obviously the last two we've gotten off to bad starts.
Now this is, I think this is the third time you've faced Chris Modge as a head coach, plus twice as an assistant with Steve. Just having that familiarity with each other, how does that affect the way that you prepare, if at all? Do you go a little deeper into the scouting reports, or I mean, how do you prepare for a coach that you know what they're going to do, or you think you do? Yeah,
I think the league as a whole, I think, you know, there's really been, I guess, I don't think there were any coaching changes last year. Obviously, we added Missouri State and Delaware, and I think the year before, when I got the job, I think this was the only one. So there's been a lot of consistency throughout the league. So you do kind of have an idea for what teams are going to do. I would say that Sam is playing a little bit different this year. I mean, they're playing faster. They're playing more aggressive. Their tempo is way at a way faster level. Their transition offense is probably among the absolute best in the league, and that's a little different than what they've done. Defensively, very similar. Half-court sets, very similar. I don't know if it helps or not. I mean, you have an understanding for what they're going to do, but again, as I just kind of said with our team, Man, sometimes I think we tell them too much on what their team's going to do, and we're not focused on how we are going to play and what our mentality is. So, I guess it's, it can be, they have a completely, for the most part, new team. They have a kid that's starting at the 4 in Nicholas that was there 2 years ago and was injured last year. So, we're familiar with him, but man, they have some newness and freshness. They have a lot of guys that have transferred there from, lower Division I, or, their leading scorers in NAI transfer from LSU Alexandria. They play with an upbeatness. They play with a positivity. They're very impressive that they don't let things rattle them. Down at New Mexico State, man, they really fought back, and they've been in some tough road environments. So I don't know. I think you're familiar with what maybe a coach wants to do, and that helps a little bit. But man, if you're not staying in the moment and figuring out this absolute current team and what their strengths and weaknesses are, you can get too caught up on that. And obviously, they've had a great year. I mean, their losses are at Texas Tech, at Oklahoma State, at I'm missing one, and I was at New Mexico State and in another road game that I'm drawing a blank on that was at a very highly, I think, a high major opponent. So, they've been competitive, and they've battled, and they play with an upbeatness and a resiliency in everything they do, and that's probably a reflection of Coach Mudge.
Coach, just want to get a status update on a couple of guys. Obviously, Terrion, we didn't play in that last game. He's kind of trending upwards in your words. And then Louis didn't see any play time against Jackson State the other night. Just want to get up there on those two guys.
Terrion's moving in the right direction. He hasn't done full contact, I guess, live 5-on-5 yet, but he's very close to that. I wouldn't tell you he's not going to do it today or tomorrow. I mean, we're getting very close. So obviously, we're still going to be careful. I can't promise that as soon as he's completely cleared, I'm just going to put him right in the game. Obviously, this is, his final season of college basketball, and it's very important that we do what's best for him over the next 2.5 months. So but he's practicing, he's dressed, he's getting close. Louis came back and has a little bit of a nagging back thing that had been bothering him in the fall, and I guess after 4 or 5 days off, he practiced the first day, and his back was bothering him after that. So just trying to kind of be careful of that and get Louis into, obviously between Christmas and New Year's here, it's a little tough, but just want him to see a back specialist real quick. I think we're going to get him in there this week just to get some clarification on making sure we don't do anything to aggravate that. So hopefully we have Louis back soon as well.
So it sounds like Louis won't be available, at least this.
He's not available today. Not available today. I'm not sure on Friday yet. If we can get him in today or tomorrow, and he kind of in a specialist clears him, then I'm not ruling him completely out for the weekend. But we just want him to see somebody to make sure there's nothing really wrong there before we put him out there.
One more too. I guess Lawson Rice. Are we to the point now where he's going to redshirt, or is it still?
Yes, Lawson's going to redshirt this year.
All right, Coach. You guys are sitting at 7-5 coming home for your first homestand in conference play. This is kind of cliche. Would you have any New Year's resolutions as you enter a new year with this team?
We have a group that I think we all enjoy coaching, and I think the whole group enjoys being around one another. It's a group that it's real hard in today's world. I mean, I've seen more clips of coaches talking about what the current world is, and just it is crazy, and it affects everything. Like it's a challenge to keep everybody constantly engaged in the present, because you can control your life and your future and your success by what you currently do and being part of a team. So I think we all know that you don't necessarily get that every year, and no matter what, what our record, you are your record now. We are a 7-5 basketball team that's 0-1 in the league. That is who we are. Now, I also think that there's a belief that we have a lot of room to grow. 2.5 months ago, we hadn't played a game. 2.5 months from now, we'll be in the conference tournament. So I think the key is staying in the moment and enjoying this process. We encourage the guys. I think there's such a... I heard J.J. Redick of the Lakers say this maybe about a month ago, but he's right. After every game, these guys are being told how good they did or how bad they did. And by people, by social media, by media, there's such an overreaction to me on how every single minute of every single day goes. So this is not a New Year's resolution. I'm just telling you how we're going to coach this team. We just want to stay present with this group because it is a strong group. They do care about one another. They do care about representing WKU and the best that they can do. Trust me, none of us feel good when we come out the gates and we struggle, and that's, I mean, this is a process and we're figuring this out. But I think that, you know, you have to enjoy, you have to stay in the moment and appreciate when you know that you're working with a group of people that, you know, that has a chance to be special. And this group has proven to me way more times, regardless of what our record is. I mean, I'd rather be where we're at right now, showing that we can compete against the best than being 9-3 and having beat, you know, another D2 team and then you know, and shoot, you know, we've had some games we can pull out or anything like that. So I think I think just trying to make sure as we enter the new year that we don't hey, if we win both games this weekend, we don't need to, I'm not going to tell you we're the best team in the world and we have this all figured out next week. You know, if we lose both games this weekend, we don't stink. You know, I just think that we have to try to prevent against evaluating and overreacting to every little thing that happens, and we're going to be a better team in the games when that happens. We played a good first 4 minutes the other day at Jacksonville State defensively, and we missed layups and we missed wide open threes, and we almost felt disappointed in that. And then, man, once their threes started going in, we were, oh man, we're playing bad, you know. And then all of a sudden a run happened that got away from us. So just really trying to appreciate and stay present with a group that I think all believes in one another. And I don't know, it's what you got to do. We're in a kind of a strange time in a strange world right now. So just trying to make sure. I think we have a lot of coaches, players that have been in a lot of different situations. I guess we have a couple that are young that haven't been in a lot of situations. Armello Boone doesn't know any better. This is the first time he's been through this, and that's part of why he's able to stay present and stay in the moment and not overreact. Because, man, this is new for him. This is what you do. I think whether we've had successful experiences or unsuccessful in our past, or no matter how we view them, we've got to make sure that this group appreciates what we do have. And I think as coaches and players and certainly fans as well. I think I know every time we've played here in Diddle, I know these guys play their hearts out, and hopefully every single time we do have 10 more home games, and we expect to win every single one of those. I mean, we expect to win every single time that we step in Diddle Arena, and that starts here on Friday. So just probably just a general appreciation for who we are and what we do have and what we're trying to represent, and trying to make sure that our players continue to have that mindset.
Just looking at Sam Houston, ridiculously balanced scoring for them. They got 4 guys in double digits. They got 4 more that are almost at 9.
Yeah.
How do you prepare to defend that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Eight I think that are 8 or more. So I think 8 guys between 8.0 and 12.2. I might be slightly off with that, but it's something like that. You know, and they all can kind of shoot. The big kid doesn't shoot threes, and then Nicholas, I think, is 4 for 26. But I mean, we've had enough guys that are 4 for 26 go 3 for 3 against us that we're not overreacting to that. You know, they're very well balanced. They don't really have a I think whoever gets going, they look for that guy. I mean, I think King's probably the best shooter, catch and shoot guy. But the other guards are complete players. I don't know. I think you have to just have a respect. I mean, we've done good against teams that are like that. You know, Tulsa's kind of like that. You know, everybody can score that basketball, and you don't know where it's going to go. So I think we've had moments where I think when we respect what each and every player can do and they're all threats, I think sometimes it's caused us to play better defense. So I think there's, you know, if we're going to switch, if we're going to, you know, whatever strategy we decide to do, there's never going to be a matchup where somebody can't hurt you. I mean, those 8 guys can all score the ball, and I think we just better have a massive respect for when you're guarding the ball. Our emphasis in general, we've been allowing too many deep paint touches. We got to, you know, pressure the ball without, you know, and then the help defense tries to prevent you out of the paint. I think we need to focus on our general defensive principles, because there's no specific one guy to key in on. So hopefully we can focus on what, you know, our defensive principles are, while knowing that, hey man, if there's ever a weak moment or a weak closeout or a weak you know, or a weak moment of weakness mentally, and you think that, you know, you think this, no man, like you're going to get burned on all that. So hopefully it allows us to kind of play in the moment and play free, and knowing that no matter who you're on, you better treat that guy like he's capable of going for 20 points.
How do you feel about this 4 o'clock start?
I don't know. I think we did it because it's between New Year's and, you know, I don't know, it's January 2nd, and I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I feel fine about it. The worst part about a game day is waiting around until game time, so it cuts a couple of hours off, and have a little matinee here on Friday and see what happens.
You know, Coach, Cole talked about, you know, some of the home versus road. You talked about expecting to win every time you step on the floor in Diddle. You've been here a few years now. Can you talk about the atmosphere in Diddle Arena and you know, when it's a great crowd, how that helps you guys out, and the importance of having that now that conference play is starting up?
Yeah, the crowd, I mean, I think the crowd, I mean, our guys feed off of that. I mean, I think there's nothing, I mean, just so everybody knows, I mean, probably 5 minutes to go when we run out, the thing that the guys are hoping for is to look up and see a lot of people in the stands, you know, and I mean, and it really fuels you. Like, I think we all enjoy playing in front. Hey, the best two things are you play in front of 5,000 to 8,000 people that have your back, or you play in front of 5,000 to 8,000 people that hate your guts. You know, those are both very fueling, just so you know. There's, you know, sometimes it's hard to play in front of an empty or dead arena. So, you know, I know we had a great crowd versus Tulsa. I think it helped pull us through. You know, it helped kind of help us in some moments where the teams were going back and forth. And I don't know. I would just encourage fans. Like, I mean, we have a really good group of dudes. We're going to continue to get better over the next 10 weeks. We've shown at times that we can compete and play and beat anybody that we play. We need to continue to be more consistent at doing that, and hopefully people want to be part of our process. You know, I think 4 or 5 points a game were on our team last year. Like, it's every year is going to be, and I know that can be frustrating. Oh man, hey man, they've been here 12 games now. These guys have put a lot into this. You know, we've got some good wins. We've been in some tough environments. We're improving and getting better. These guys want to make WKU fans proud. They want to give WKU fans opportunities. You know, hopefully it fuels you to come back to the next game. You know, I've had people tell me constantly, man, I love how hard you guys play. Like, and we're going to play hard. Trust me, on Friday at 4 o'clock, these guys are going to lay it on the line and give everything they have. So I would certainly encourage everyone from Bowling Green, Warren County, WKU, I mean, and way beyond, you know, to come out and support this team. They're a team that you can really get behind, and you help. I mean, the more people that are here, the more it helps us succeed. So, hoping for a great crowd on Friday at 2, hoping for a great crowd Sunday at 2 o'clock, I believe. And you have no idea how much that fuels us. I think it's so easy. It's so easy to say, yeah, but man, we got it. No, I get it. I get it. But I know that the 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people that have consistently come to every game keep on coming back. So if you haven't been to a game this year, I would just encourage you to give it a shot, and you're going to see a team play their heart out on Friday at 4.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.